Welcome back to the channel. I'm James, and in today's video I'll be showing you how to remove your shocks and upper control arms, including the ball joints step by step. We'll go through the entire process from start to finish, covering the tools you'll need, the function of each component, common problems you might encounter, and plenty of practical tips to make the job easier. I'll also point out the nut and bolt sizes as we go, and share a few workshop tricks that can save you time and frustration. Whether you're replacing worn suspension parts or just learning how everything fits together, this guide will help you tackle the job with confidence. Let's get started. Here's what you'll need to get it done.
Jack stands. Jack. Impact driver. Hammer or mallet. Nut and bolt penetrant. Socket set. Socket wrench. Breaker bar. Extensions. Ratchet spanners. More spanners and a large screwdriver. We need to remove the shock absorber. The first job is removing the bolt from the bottom shock mount. They are both 17 millimeter. I'm using a ratchet spanner on the bolt and a standard spanner on the nut. Now I'm switching to the impact driver. It definitely makes life easier. I screwed the nut back on the bolt to keep them together. The top nut is a 15 mil, but they can also be a 14 mil. When it starts to loosen up, at a certain point, the shock piston rod will start to turn. As you can see here, I'm gripping it tight with my hand until I can loosen it fully.
This is the upper shocker nut in the order.
Now, even though I'm switching to new shocks, I kept these in the order they came off, as a reference in case I mix the new ones
2,
up.
3, 4.
I'm compressing the top of the shock so I'm able to move it out from the mount. With a little persuasion from a hammer and a large screwdriver, I'm able to work it out of the bottom mount and remove it.
There we go. Alright, there's the old one.
All right, guys, let's move on to the upper control arm. First, I'll remove the 12 millimeter nut that's holding the brake line to the control arm.
That's the 12 mil nut for the brake line. So I'll do this 10 mil nut.
Then with an 8 mil spanner, I'll loosen up the brake line connection. Don't loosen it too much as brake fluid will start to leak.
Just lose a little bit of brake fluid here. Just going to tighten it up while I get my...
I will use blue tack to block both the hard line and flexi line to help stop brake fluid leaking. When you've released the hard line, you can block that first. To remove the flexible line from the control arm mount, we need to first remove the circlip. It's easily removed with pliers and a screwdriver. This is what a circlip looks like. In this close-up, you can see how it sits. To keep the flexi line out of the way, wrap it under the control arm, then block it with the blue tacks.
Stop it from leaking.
Let's move on to releasing the ball joint. We need to remove the cotter pin from the castle nut. This is a castle nut and cotter pin. It connects the ball joint to the steering knuckle. We need to straighten out the pin with pliers. Then I gently tap it through until enough of the head of the pin is out on the other side so I can grip it with the pliers and pull it through.
Right, that's the pin pulled.
Time to loosen the castle nut. Do not undo the nut completely. Unscrew it until the top of the nut is nearly flush with the bottom. Only a couple of threads should remain. We do this because when we hit the side of the steering knuckle to release the ball joint taper, the weight can cause damage to the threads or serious injury. This was very tight, so I had to spray it with some rust penetrant. It was still very stubborn, so I switched to the other side and finally broke free. Now we can take our hammer and give the steering knuckle a tap until the ball joint taper is free. Watch carefully, you will see the moment it releases.
Now it's time to remove these.
We can now loosen the two 22mm bolts holding the center pin to the upper control mount.
22.
I should have sprayed with rust penetrant earlier. These are very tight, as you will see. First attempt with the impact driver, no good. Then I tried with the breaker bar, still couldn't get it. Then breaker bars with 2 extensions. Damn, that was tough. Cracked one. Finally!
Okay, let's loosen up the upper control mount. Just going to jack it up a bit.
I'm using the jack to take some weight off the arm. Release the mount from where the ball joint is attached to the steering knuckle. Be careful here. We are removing the spacers and shims which adjust the angle of the control arm to help correct camber and caster. It is highly important they go back exactly the way they came out. They are positioned between the back of the mount and the center pin,
2 on this side.
on top of the 22mm bolts.
Yeah. 2 on this side.
Now we can safely remove the control arm. However, it is held to the mount with a center pin bolt washer and a threaded plate for the bolts. I kept them together like this. Job done. That wasn't too hard. All right, guys. Here's the situation on why I didn't record putting the car back together. I went to do the other side, but I could not remove the bolt from the bottom mount. I spent hours on it, but nothing worked, so I gave up for the day and left the car like this. The next day, I called some friends over, but nothing worked, and I was left like this. I was so angry I put the other new parts on and took it to a workshop, where they proceeded to destroy it so badly they had to cut it off and replace my goddamn lower control arm. Anyway, guys, putting it back together is just a matter of doing everything in reverse. That's what I did. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.